So yeah, machine learning. So that's something that it's there on everybody's mind, everybody's resume, everybody's LinkedIn post, and I've seriously uh, yeah, I love it that now machines are going to school, machines are also going to be graded in their tests and exams, and then machines are also getting their parents to the meeting such that your machine is not learning properly. So that I think is a big disadvantage, that machines do not have parent teachers meeting. um, so somebody is like yeah, the machine learning institute is like your machine, this robot number 333.115 is not actually performing according to its standards. The test versus this thing, ratio is not really proper. And I would like to talk to the parent developer who's developing this. Please come to the school tomorrow, and then we will talk to you. And then the machine is like, no, 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 please don't do this. And machine tries to learn from basic other things and tries to force the signature, but then it's not able to, or is able to force the signature, but then the signature is so bad because it's only like a 70-30 ratio, and the machine learning is bad such that the institute knows that this is happening. They call the real parents, and the parents are, your developer is coming and cutting a sorry face saying, very sorry, and then it patar, hit the developer, or he or she hits the machine learning bot and saying, how dare you copy, is this the values that we have taught you? And then they're like, oh no, and then the robot starts to cry, and the machine starts to cry, and the crying basically changes all the electrical components, and basically begins to short. So much of things with just one machine learning. So if you didn't understand this joke, don't worry, it's okay. Just Google machine learning, and just imagine that machines are learning, so you will actually get the joke. So once upon a time, long, long ago, very long ago, uh, I was into watching a lot of movies. So first things that I grew up with were watching movies, because my granny was my father's mom was actually deeply into movies. So along, whenever she was not able to sleep, she used to switch on the TV, and then when she switches on the TV, it's automatically that people. I had to come like a fly towards the light source. I had to come and see the TV. And she used to do it like quite late in the night, and I used to sleep in the hall, and that was where the TV was. So I used to see a lot of TV along with her. If at all I do wake up right in the middle of the night, and then I used to watch these movies with her, and I think it took me a very long time to understand that uh, it was surprising that a lot of these things happened. When I actually went to my first hotel, so that experience was ridiculously different from what I'd seen on TV. So I'd actually seen all these comedy scenes. I don't know why the hell it's called comedy. Then people go to the hotel and they eat like they haven't eaten for the last 10,000 years. So there's like this big mountain of rice, and then somebody comes in and pours the hell out of rasam, sambar, or whatever, and then they start to eat like, wah, 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 wah. And within a second, start like, wah. Then, I went to that hotel, and I was surprised to see everybody in their most decent avatar. Everybody is eating, nobody is doing anything. Some of them are using spoons, and then they're like cutting, what is that? Cutting everything, cutting even chapatis, and then using forks and eating. And others are also decently eating with their hands, and nobody seems to be making a fuss. Everybody seems to be doing like this. The next big delta that happened was that when you get into a fight, or whenever the fights in the movies, they were always going to be sound effects. So when I thought, when actually somebody, when you hit somebody with all that stuff, but then actually I got hit by somebody, after during a cricket match. We had a lot of intense discussion, and somebody hit somebody, and I was like, this sound only did not come. It's not real. And that's when I understood that the real and real are two different things. And real and real are always going to be different things, because real bidodo in Kannada is basically that you're basically trying to prank somebody, or basically saying lies. But now everybody in the world seems to be working with reels and shorts. Shorts though is another completely this thing. So a very long time ago during school, People are like, we had to go to a competition, sports competition, and then it was exam time. So we wrote the exam at 6 o'clock, while the rest of the school wrote it at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we wrote it at 6 o'clock. We came to school, we wrote the exam, and then we went to this thing. So in our head, before we actually did this, we were like, let's go to this workshop or sports meet such that we skip the exam. So our teachers and this thing were like, you write it at 6 o'clock. So I came there and when like 8:30 we finished it, and then up and off we went to the sports meet. And while going there, one of my friends asked, "Bro, are you sure?" Like I had never played basketball. Apparently, you have to play basketball only shorts. I don't know. I don't understand the reason why can't you play it with a pant and stuff. So apparently it's a rule. So I didn't know about this rule. I didn't know basketball or anything. So basically, what happened was uh, my crush liked basketball that time. So I'm like, yeah, I have to play basketball, and I gave my name, and ours was so amazing a team that we were like, yeah, chalo chalte hai. So when we go there, everybody loses the pant and puts on the chadi in the puts on the shorts inside the this thing. So at the bus, and then there's Sunil, why don't you change? I'm like, no, no, I have a pant. I didn't understand. Why don't you change? I like, and then somebody asked me, do you have a shorts? I'm like, obviously I put something inside. What sort of a dumb question is this, bro? And then I reached this thing, and then I understand like everybody is there, and then there are six players. I was playing, and then somebody was a substitute, and then it happened that I had to remain outside because I was in my pants, and everybody was expected to wear the shorts. That is the like a Bermuda level shorts. In my head, I'm like, no, that is not the shorts I had. I had a different wala one. So now YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels and Me Reels, and yeah, coming back to the real and real life, the biggest delta was songs. Just when you have a lady that you have a crush on walking on this side and you walking on this side, and just when she sees you, you see jack shit happens. Nothing happens. She's like, who the hell is this creep? Why is he looking at me like this? Love and all never happens. Love at first sight is not like it's creep at first sight. So she's like, oh, nothing happened. I just went past my crush. Like nobody in the background. Suddenly, like 10, 20 people ding chick doing aerobics. Nothing happened. Ayo, full scenes. Ayo, macha matash it was. I thought full level, and then suddenly all that when and that too all the songs had like same like black color then becomes blue color, red color, white color, like same dance like full aerobics that they're doing. Suddenly the color changing. I was so fascinated by movies that I found out that in real life it just doesn't happen like that. And people when they fall in love, nobody breaks into a dance in the background. So that was my biggest lesson from childhood, the biggest lesson from movies and real life just doesn't have the same feeling. But yeah, younger younger days we used to play cricket a lot of cricket actually. So we actually used to play cricket in our road. So that was our lords, that was our gully cricket ka lords was near my place because now every other place we were getting scolded right left center saying you become like donkeys, and then your age is like donkeys. Why don't you find a place, why don't you find a playground and go? So we had to seriously navigate real estate, saying, this auntie is going to scold, this uncle is going to scold, this Ajji is going to scold, this uncle, oh, yo, devre, beda, bedappa. Then they have a car, this one has something else. We had to seriously navigate. So our house, no car, nothing, no problem, because I was the one person playing, and literally the entire place, entire list of friends was at our house. So some people fears competition. So I was like, yeah, if I hit one run that day full, I was on top of the world. I was like Sachin Tendulkar, Wasim Akram, Harbhajan Singh, that level, Muttayam. So some of us used to play with tennis ball. And tennis ball, in a place like where I was growing up, it was to bounce and get into two or three people's house. So our, Maidan was in such a way, our Eden Gardens or our Chinnaswamy was in such a way that it is between two trees. So one tree like diagonal, 45-degree angle, diagonal. So it is like this. So if you just like this, I don't know if you're able to see it. So then somebody used to bounce and it has to hit the wicket and go to our neighbor's house. So you've heard of surgical strike, no? You've heard of surgical strike where you go in, घुस के आएंगे, and then they will not even know. So we used to do surgical strike. So there used to be one team looking at who's there in the house. Like now the ball's actually gone into their garden. So one team that is actually zeroing in on the radar. Where is the ball? And then look at where it is. And then one person fully claiming the stairs or fully claiming the wall and looking at full silent, like as stealthy as a cat. And then slowly going into the house and full all sentries everywhere saying, in any movement inside the house is like shh, and then you used to get that. So there was one house next to mine, and then opposite house, opposite was another problem, and then to our left was a completely big open space of land where there were cobras, there were reptiles, there were anacondas, there were dinosaurs, there were T-Rexes, there were all sorts of things. You don't know what was there. That was that bigger jungle, that ancient jungle. So just next to other side, there were another list of people who it was very difficult to get into their house because the gate was locked and the wall was also higher. And then the wall was in such a way that you get in, you can actually jump in, but you cannot jump out. So the height difference was like that. So we had to do serious surgical strike on a day. On an easy average, we used to do 6 to 7 surgical strikes a day because someone used to bowl the bouncer, and there are mories like it's canals that carried over the rainwater and all the stormwater drainage. So there, if the ball went, that was another exercise. We have done surgical strike way before it was cooler. We were the true bosses of surgical strikes. So at least in our area, so our space. So we've also done surgical strikes. So where else? Yeah, I think next is yeah. So I don't know how to do crowd work when I'm actually doing this. So uh, you know, people are like any Bangalorean in the house, and I'm like, ooh, that doesn't work here. So it's sit down comedy. So if I say any vegetarians in the house, everybody is gonna be like, yeah, me. So anybody who's listening into my house. So if I say any non-vegetarians in the house make some nice, they will hit me with whatever it is there. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen, but another thing that really messes with my head is all the things that you see on YouTube. They're like randomly they are going. There is a heap of waste that is thrown in China, random places, and then somebody finds, and then in one plastic cover there's iPhone, there's Samsung, there's all those phones. Yes, that shit doesn't happen in our houses, man. I'm like, who throws away mobile phones? We keep mobile phones right from the inception to until now. We are like chip fun, then this one, then this big, then this big, then this big, then they're like on the hand phone, then headset. All of these are basically said like this will come to yours in the next 20 years. Please keep it. Until then, it may become vintage. When it becomes vintage, it's going to give you a lot more money than your FD. Don't invest anywhere. Invest in your old phones, save those mobile phones such that they later, 10 or 20 years down the line, they'll pick up all the gold and silver that's inside, and you'll make a lot of money. So that's how it is. But like craziest of crazy is when you actually find 10 to 13 iPhones basically thrown in the dustbin. I'm like, that country must be so rich. Where people are throwing away phones, and that too they're throwing it in the this thing. And if the country is rich and they're basically throwing it away down the dump, like what sort of a dry waste management system do they have? How did they become a developed country in the first place? So yeah, these are some of the questions that are in my head. So until I find answers, until I find a little more jokes to actually come back to you guys and share, yeah, I will leave you with that. But then yeah, I think another one maybe just before we leave is that is amazing. So one of my friend has a birthday today, and uh, evening I'm expecting the status, saying on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, on uh, Instagram, that thanks everyone for all your wishes. So basically, it's an invitation for all those best friends of his, all holidays of his, that have not basically wished him, saying, this is your last opportunity. Please don't make the mistake of not wishing me this year because then I will not wish you on your birthday. So this is one last chance for you to basically wish me on my birthday. So because individually people would have called saying hi whatever happy birthday bro, and then he's like thanks pacha you're super, and then people would have pinged and he would have replied thank you. But I don't understand what's the premise of saying thank you all for your wishes. You could have individually wished everybody. You're not some celebrity saying everybody on Twitter are going like happy birthday dish happy birthday happy birthday happy birthday. You are not so famous that people have a hashtag for you. So you're around 10 to 20 or maximum 30 400 500 people. So, and they wished you individually, so you have to wish them back individually. And now, to even more amazing, you can just put a heart emoticon and close it up. Not even heart smileys. Heart smileys are wrong this thing. So heart emoticon, close it off. Why you have to do advertisement?